What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Zeal Cigar review. I'm JB, and I've got my man Kevin sitting next to me today because we're going to do a blind taste review. Not a blindfolded. We're not going to put the blindfolds on today, but we are going to do a blind taste test, and we're going to find out what we're hiding in these bags. All next on the Zeal Cigar review. What do you normally think when you hear like we're going to do a blind taste test or a blindfolded review?
Well, there was one video that we got taken down, and so what I think of is that time I completely just screwed up every guess that I had.
That's usually the plan with a blind taste review.
Yeah.
However, I am going to tell you what one of the cigars is in the bag.
Okay.
And it's one of the best-selling cigars here at Zeal Cigars.
Okay.
Before I pick mine out and hand it to you, I'm going to like kind of hide myself and cover my ears because you have one in cellophane, one in not in cellophane.
Okay.
The one in cellophane is a premium. The one not in cellophane is considered not a premium, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to hide my eyes and hide my ears so that you can choose which one you want to give me first because I've already got yours ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to...
All right.
All right, so you got one picked out?
Yep.
You got it written down? Which one's number one you're giving me?
Yep.
All right, so this is my number one in the blind taste review. Let me get Kevin's. Crap. Just so you guys know, this is how close they look together.
Okay.
There's only two distinctive features that allow me to know which one is which. And one of them is because I pulled out some extra tobacco out of the bottom of this one just so I could identify them.
Ah, okay.
There's another identifier, but I'm not going to say what it is. So let's give you this one first.
All right.
Let me write that down so I don't screw this up here. You guys know there's only one way we can find out what two cigars we're blind smoking. You know what we got to do. We got to cut, light, smoke. I love doing these blind reviews because for me, it's one of the most honest ways that you can get, especially a comparison between cigars that range anywhere from $5.50 all the way up to $15 a piece, right? So doing a blind taste test for me is one of the most honest ways you can do it. Now, I do know what two cigars we're smoking, so it's a possibility that I'll figure it out, but I can still give you a pretty honest review. Kevin has no idea yet.
My initial thought is that this is the premium.
Very bready. Okay. What's making you think that?
Because I don't recognize the flavor. If I did recognize the flavor, I think I would know what it was.
Maybe. Then you start going, so like when I used to do these with Brad, my mind would start going down the rabbit hole of like, okay, what specific, I don't know why I started saying that. What specific cigars have I not smoked in a long time?
Yeah.
What size of those cigars have I not smoked in a long time?
And I don't smoke a lot of Connecticut's anyway.
Neither do I.
So it's just like, I have no idea what this could possibly be. Ooh, there's a little spice coming in. Well, and then, I mean, I know why you started saying spice, because like when people think Zeal, I mean, the Spice Cream is probably their most popular cigar.
Yeah, Spice Cream, Primordial. Connecticut's are always the best selling in the industry. I remember James from Sinistro said this one time. He said, my Connecticut's not going to make me famous. It's what's going to pay my bills. My Maduro is what's going to make me famous. I forget whose show he was on when he said that. It might have been Kevin from Cigar Prop. I'm not 100%. But yeah, I remember James from Sinistro saying that. And it was like, it's par for the course. Connecticut's usually sell the best. This is a very tasty cigar.
It's really spicy.
Really spicy.
Yeah. I don't know what this is.
Okay. That makes me think that we're not smoking the same cigar at the moment. Because this is not spicy at all. This is like...
And I can't tell if it's like just, you know, a filler kind of flavor where it's just got something in there, or if it's a Ligero spice.
Bready, grassy. A light grab at the back of the tongue and some spice. Not bad.
Well, and you have a coffee. I forgot to grab one.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Well, we'll smoke it down a little bit, and then we'll get into the second one, and then if we have to go back and forth, we could go back and forth.
I think we're definitely going to have to go back and forth on these. Okay, I know what it's not. That's the problem.
Yeah, this...
Oh, actually, I might know what this is.
If this is one of ours, which I know one of them is, but if it's one of ours, it's definitely a size or a shape that I don't smoke very often, or something, because this is good. And I don't, if it's the cigar I'm thinking it is, it's not something I smoke very often.
If I know what this is, then I think I like the Maduro. I prefer the Maduro over the Connecticut.
Interesting.
But they're both kind of heavy.
You think you know what it is already?
I think I might.
Now originally you said you thought that was the premium one.
Mm-hmm. I said if this is ours.
Okay.
Because there's something familiar coming in now.
Okay.
Because that was just a foot. But if this is ours, I do like the Maduro a lot.
Yeah, this has a light, creamy grassiness.
You inspecting the...
Whatever it is, it's beautiful.
Now, I think I talked about this last time. I actually prefer it when the wrapper looks rougher. Because, you know, if it's all silky and smooth, I'm just like, all right, where are you keeping the flavor?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think I'm the same way. Like, if it's got hairs on it, if you can see some of the oils crystallizing on the outside, like this has some hair on it. Like, I don't know if you can see, but it's got some hair.
Oh yeah, that kind of fibrous fuzz kind of.
I think I'm pretty ready to go on to the next one. You let me know whenever you're in a good spot.
Yeah, let's try the next one. I think if it's ours, I think I know what it is.
Okay. Cigar number 2 in the Connecticut blind taste test.
All right, eyes and ears.
I thought you already did all this. All right. I'll trade you.
They do look identical, though. It's really close.
Yeah, this second one you handed me looks a little bit more on the rough side, but not by much. They smell completely different. Ooh, that's not good.
What? You got a stick?
Got a hole.
Uh-oh.
So I got a nice little hole there. Boy, that'd be embarrassing if it's not the premium one. Ooh, whoa.
Loose?
Way more loose.
Oh, wow.
Way more grass on the dry draw.
Mine doesn't have a hole, and that is really loose. That is airy. It's like a brake light.
Dude, Kevin is the king of one-liners. If you guys pay attention on these videos, you'll notice that there's going to be a cutout somewhere of Kevin having some sort of one-liner where it's just him saying something. Like, I think the first one was trains coming through. And then I forget what I did on the second one. I'll have to go back and look. But there was something on the second one where you just said it was just a random one-liner in the middle of smoking through the cigar, and I was just like, "Yeah, that stays."
Well, and I think you cut like half of my one-liners out.
Well,
simply for time, really.
Well, some of them, yeah, they just don't fit in with the section of the conversation, but they're fucking hilarious.
Oh, these are night and day. These are completely different. Immediately.
Oh, whoa.
See? We were probably smoking opposite cigars. I'm getting everything you were talking about, and you're getting everything I was talking about.
There's some breadiness, but it's kind of stale.
Stale? Like an old pretzel?
Yes. Actually, yes. Without the saltiness. That's a really good description, actually.
I've had some stale, like, pretzel bun.
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good description, actually.
I know we're not too far in. I might be jumping the gun here. but I think I know which is which. I just don't know what they are. I only have one guess, and it's for that one. I don't know what this is at all.
Hold that thought for a minute. Yeah, this is like a pretzel, especially with the coffee.
Ooh, this is getting sweeter.
Yeah, if we're smoking opposite cigars, that's going to continue to get sweeter.
Whoa, very sweet.
See, this is the fun part. I already know which cigars are which. So it's kind of biased if I start giving my opinion on which one's better because I kind of already know which one's which. I'm going to tell you right now, the first one I smoked is the better cigar. I would rather smoke that on a daily basis. But I'm going to let Kevin tell you guys because he's the one that actually has no idea what cigars are in the bag.
Have I smoked both of these before?
Have you smoked both of these before?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know about the premium one. You've definitely smoked the other one at some point in time. I couldn't tell you when the last time I saw you smoke one was.
I mean, it was probably on a Saturday, so yeah.
Okay, well, and I'm not here. These guys are always up to no good when I'm not here.
Part of me wants to speculate. Part of me just wants to kind of hold on to that.
Yeah, keep smoking it. We'll get into it. We're not in a rush. Power of editing can cut out tons of dead space. By the way, if you want a game that was a little freaky, that game freaked me out. Dead Space. And the scariest part that freaked me out wasn't even something that should have been scary. Did you ever play that game?
I played the intro.
Yeah.
I don't do scary games.
That game is scary.
I mean, Alan Wake was phenomenal. I loved both of those games, but that's the only scary game that I actually like.
Okay. Dead Space is like you're like at this blown up like international like space station type deal.
Oh yeah, I know the story. I've watched other people play it.
So I'm going down an elevator.
Yeah, this part. Okay.
And you just hear a scream. And that's all you hear in this elevator. And the game's been pretty calm up to this point. And then
their atmosphere is amazing.
Oh yeah, the way they surround you and make you feel a part of it is I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I feel completely isolated.
It's been 15 years since I played this damn game. So it hasn't been that long, but it's been a while. So I get off the elevator and I'm on like a food court area. And there's vegetation inside. You know how like you go to like the grocery store and the misters kick on?
Yeah.
So there's right in front of me when I get off of the elevator, you can turn left, but the walkway is surrounded by enclosed crop growing inside of like a bubble, like a plastic bubble, right? All the way down the hall. And I'm like, oh, this is super cool. So I walk up and I'm like staring through the freaking glass at the tomato plants growing and the misters kicked on. And that's what scared me.
I think I've heard you tell this story before.
That scared the living daylights out of me. And all I was doing was looking at a freaking tomato plant and the misters kicked on. But it was the way that everything was creepy in the elevator going to that point that like the game told you something's going to happen. So the misters kicked on and I was like, oh God, it's going to happen. And it was just some more.
Was that in the second one when all the cult stuff was happening?
Was there a second one?
Yeah,
I didn't play the second.
3 of them.
Really?
And you know, as per usual, as per usual nowadays, you know, when you get to the third of any series, it ruins everything. But I was actually watching somebody else play The Thing. They just remastered the game, which is a direct sequel to the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The game is a sequel to the movie? That's interesting.
It's a direct sequel to the movie. You come in with another team that's like checking out both of the sites. Is it the Norwegian site where they found everything? And that's the beginning of the movie where the dog is coming and the Norwegian guy is chasing it, trying to kill it. I think it's John Carpenter, the director. I think he expressed interest, and I think the issue was they couldn't get it off of the ground. I think he wanted to do a Dead Space movie, and that would have been amazing. Can you imagine The Thing, but Dead Space?
I can see it.
Like that amount of body horror, like in real prosthetics.
In real prosthetics. Nah, man, CGI.
Now with Carpenter.
I still haven't watched 300 because of that.
Really?
Yeah, because of the CGI.
It's decent. Wish that we put more clothes on, but it's decent. Sorry, they had way more armor than that.
Yeah, two very different cigars. Where this one's gonna be, like you said, maybe it's got some more Ligero or something in it, but it's a little bit more spicy, a little bit more woody. Whereas the other one's a lot creamier, a little bit of bready notes.
Okay, I think I know which one is the premium and which one is the house brand.
Yeah, one's a house brand.
Yeah, I think I know which is which.
Okay.
I just don't know what they are.
Which one do you think is the premium?
This one.
One or two?
The spicy one, the first one.
The first one you think is the premium?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also this one's just way more, I don't know. It's slightly rougher. It's got more sweetness to it. I feel like if I had maybe a soda. Oh my god.
One of those cigars is the El Premier Mundo. Blue.
I haven't had this one. I had the Habano and the Maduro. I don't think I've had the Connecticut. Or if I did, it was a long time ago.
One of the other cigars is a Spice Cream.
Oh. I know which is which. I was right then.
Which one's which?
This is definitely the Spice Cream.
The number two?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, number one was the El Premier Mundo. Which is, I'm guessing, the second cigar that I'm smoking.
But it does explain why this kind of threw me for a loop, because I don't normally smoke the rounds. When I have the Spice Cream or almost any of those three lines,
I smoke the box pressed as well.
it's usually the box press Toro.
Yeah, but I mean, depending on what you're looking for in a Connecticut, they're night and day. My draw now. Look, I mean, this is a $15 cigar, and I cut it and have a gigantic hole in it. So you know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever you want about a $5 cigar not being premium,
But it's smoking pretty even.
I mean, come on.
That's a really weird problem that I have when I pick up a partially smoked cigar and it's still a little bit lit and I puff on it. The next time I put it down, it will be out.
Yeah, if I have even a remote thought that the cigar is out, I just relight it. Now my Spice Cream is a lot tighter, and it does taste a little bit more grassy. So if you don't like a little bit of those grassy notes, I would recommend the box pressed.
When I handed you the first one,
Yeah,
did you know immediately?
once I lit it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I lit it, 100%.
See, I thought I was being clever because what I did behind your
I
back.
heard the paper.
But yeah, but I crinkled it both times.
I barely heard it. I heard it more the first time, actually.
Yeah, because that was me taking it off of the cigar.
I know the Spice Cream enough that, like, I'm gonna be able to guess that cigar almost probably every single time it's against something else. So like I said, for me it was kind of biased, so I had to let Kevin kind of dictate this one a little bit as far as his thoughts.
It really did throw
That's
me.
the Spice Cream in your right hand?
Yeah. Yeah, it really did throw me. Because, like, again, I only ever really do the box presses. You know, and the Gordo, too. I even did the... I did a head-to-head, because, you know, I do that.
Mine is tight, though, man.
Really?
Yeah, my Spice Cream is really tight.
Mine's kind of moderate. It's right in the middle.
The other giveaway, young Padawan. One's triple capped, one's double capped.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I figured that's what you were looking at. Of course, I
actually couldn't tell that. I actually didn't know from looking at that, but that was another way that you could tell the difference between the two.
Yeah. But I was saying I did a head-to-head with both of the Gordos. So the short Gordo and the box press. Yeah. But I think I ended up preferring the box press. So I think in all three variations, I think I like the box press more.
Yeah, the round one's going to give you a little bit more of a grassy note, a little bit more of a younger tasting note. I've never really sat a couple of these around and let them like sit and age to see how they would taste like a year later. Like this is a cigar that does not sit around long enough to do that with.
Yeah,
because I either smoke it or they're gone. So it's a very good cigar. It's a no.
That would be interesting though.
It's a no-brainer for me, even if I didn't know. Even if I didn't know what cigars were in here and you picked them, I would pick that cigar.
Yeah.
And look,
well, they're completely night and day. Like
anybody,
it's way too spicy for my palate.
It's very woody.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell people this all the time, right? Like, if you want to come sit next to me and do this with me, come on in. I'll put you on camera. I'll blind taste test you. I'm not afraid.
I thought you were gonna say I'll blindside you.
I'll tie you up and blindfold you.
BTT.
Careful, you don't know what that means on Urban Dictionary.
I don't want to know. That place is horrifying. Hey, look up Homesteadative.
Nope, I'm not looking anything up on there. I don't know what you just did, but it probably got us banned again.
No, it's just an extremely extended version of just saying who.
Oh, okay.
Like they keep adding apostrophes and like suffixes, and it gets crazy.
This is the one thing that pisses me off about Kevin.
I'll tap it. I'll tap it for you. There we go.
I can't. Every time I get a nice ash, it ends up falling off. Kevin just sits there. The thing just gets longer and longer, and I'm like,
I got those jeweler's hands, man. I'm too gentle with my cigars. Are you
putting the wires through the middle of these, dude?
No, you'd see that.
So I went back to the Premier. It does get better. I'll have to put together a sampler and then throw in like a do like Robusto versus Gordo of each of these and each of the spice creams, and then throw in like a random box press like Toro or something for people to try the box press versus the round.
Yeah, especially in the Toros, it really shows up the differences.
See, and I
like on the Envies, it is night and day.
Yeah, that's a cigar I don't smoke very much, but it's every time I do, it's better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
I typically smoke the spice cream in a box press Robusto because I smoke it smaller. I smoke it smaller in order to make it shorter. So no, I smoke it. I smoke the Robusto because I smoke it slower. Because if you tend to puff the spice cream too fast and it gets too hot, it will get a little bit bitter on you. It's a very light Connecticut. There's not a lot to it as far as enormous complexity. If anything, there's just a lot of sweetness, some grassiness, and some woodiness, a little bit of spice. But you don't want to burn it too hot because it will get bitter.
That's why I prefer Toro's 9 out of 10. Because I've said this before, I try not to, but I do tend to smoke too fast. You can see the mountain forming here, which I think that has something to do with how my ashes stay on, because I've always got a little bit of extra in the middle, kind of holding everything together because I smoke it too fast. That
would be an interesting experiment to see, like, what is the actual like rate of puffing that has to be, or what is the actual rate of smoking that has to be done on the cigar in order to keep it, like, because you can really see the ridges in a cigar, right? Like they say every cigar ash tells a story about how you smoked it.
Yeah.
So how do you get it like this? Like, what is the perfect combination of puff to puff to keep that ash perfectly smooth all the way down the cigar and keeping it intact? That'd be a very interesting like experiment to do.
Well, I wish I had one of those. I don't know if you've ever seen the cigarette smoking machine, where they kind of demonstrate like the tar buildup when they put all the cotton balls inside of the thing, and I just want to get one of those and set it up like in like just one long constant draw, really slow, just to see if that would like overheat it, cause a combustion issue, something.
I don't think I've ever gotten this much leather out of a Connecticut cigar before.
Are you really? I've gotten a lot of leather out of
Like
a lot
this
of
is a
Connecticut's.
ton of a ton of woody leather.
Yeah, there's a lot of it seems to be like a mainstream, like a brand name Connecticut's. I usually end up getting leather out of it. Where, you know, a lot of our house brands, I don't get that as much. Maybe on the I'm going to tell you what I thought this one was. I thought this was the Dying Breed Connecticut.
Oh,
Because the
okay.
Dying Breed Connecticut is deceptively strong.
See, I thought you were going to say it was the Primordial.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of forget about the Dying Breed. That's a newer one.
And I like the Dying Breed Maduro a lot. Just because, like, you're getting a whole lot of strength. And
It's a Mexican San Andreas on that.
really?
Yep. Dying Breed is a Mexican San Andreas.
Now, I know you like that.
Yeah, I like that cigar.
I don't tend towards the
It was
San
stronger
Andreas
than
a
I
lot.
remember.
It is.
It was stronger than I remember when I smoked a Robusto at home last weekend, and it was stronger than I remember.
Yeah, it's a really good cigar. Way stronger than it looks.
Yeah, man. For me, I like my Connecticut's to be on the sweeter side. I like them to have a lot of flavor and be on the sweeter side, on the bready side. I could smoke this because I prefer cigars with more body, a little bit more pepper, a little bit more spice to them. So I would say this is like a Maduro, the El Premier Mundo. I would say is a like Maduro or a Habano smoker, seasoned smokers Connecticut that kind of fits that palate for somebody that doesn't like things that are lighter and sweeter. Because there's people that just flat out don't like the lighter, sweeter cigars, and I understand that.
It's definitely not a.
It can be boring.
It's not a boring Connecticut.
Oh no, neither one of these are. But they're very different. One is very sweet and creamy with just a very like you just want to keep going back for it. Whereas the other one is woody, a little stronger. You get a little bit more of that natural tobacco taste, a little bit more spice to it.
It's never made any sense to me why. Well, it makes sense if you smoke a certain way, but it's never made any sense to me as a regular cigar smoker or why you would want a really boring Connecticut. Like, I'm gonna call somebody out, but I don't like at all.
I might have to beep that out. I got in trouble last time we said that. There's a beep there. That's why.
I think you can read my lips. The way that I've actually encountered some of this is that I know some guys that do the one thing I completely advocate against, and I know you do too. Don't inhale. And it's like
Do not inhale.
there's some people out there that get really light cigars because they inhale the cigars.
I have seen that.
Oh my gosh.
You guys are crazy. You guys are psychos. You're not human. You're lizard people. Tell Elon we said hi. All right. Final thoughts now that you're actually like kind of smoking into them. Honest opinion. I know we know what cigars they are already.
I'm going back and forth. And again, I might be smoking a little too fast. I am getting that leather you were talking about.
On the El Premier Mundo?
Yeah.
It's very leathery. Woody, leathery, natural tobacco notes. It's a very interesting Connecticut to smoke.
Yeah. I feel like this would hold up to a bourbon. You know, on a Connecticut, that's kind of
Or
rare.
tequila.
Or tequila, yeah.
It would go very good with a tequila, I think. Or maybe something with some cinnamon in it. Like if you want to make a holiday, like I have a gingerbread cinnamon gin at home. Like that would go really good with some sort of mixed drink with this, with like some cranberry juice or something.
Or if you go to like Fry's, I think they've got like a red capped eggnog. It's like a rum bourbon mix. It's really good.
What?
Yeah. It's delicious.
What in the sorcery?
I think that would actually go really well with this. It would hold up to that power. He's double barreling.
All right. So final thoughts. Like I said, I know that there's a little bit of bias here, but honest opinion, man.
Honest opinion. If you're looking for a strong Connecticut, the El Premier Mundo is solid. Because there's very few strong Connecticut's that I actually enjoy. Like, because some of them, there's a whole genre where there's boring Connecticut's. And then there's a whole genre of there's like ones that go in the opposite direction where they're just swinging all the way to the other side where they're too strong, too spicy. There's too much going on. I've had a couple like that. This is actually right in that middle where there's enough going on and there's some strength to it. It's actually enjoyable. And it doesn't, that spice doesn't build to the point where I actually need something to drink with it, which is a good sign for me because I don't like spice, but there's that heavy nicotine build that'll kind of coat the back of your throat, and then it's
From the El
prickly.
Premier?
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that.
Oh, okay.
And that's a good thing for me. Like it'll build up that burn and like at the back of your throat or the back of your tongue. There's some really strong cigars that'll do that to me, and I'll feel like, man, I gotta drink something. I gotta get rid of that spice. But this, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, and people call me crazy because, like, I mean, how many of you guys are actually going to sit there and smoke 2 cigars right next to each other, right? Like but that's a lot of money for normal people. That's a lot of money for normal people to do, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But I'm telling you, if you really want to put up a cigar toe to toe against another cigar, smoke them like we just did. Get about into the first third and then switch to the other one. Get into the first third, go back to the other one. It's a really interesting, even the same cigar that in different sizes.
Yeah.
Or the same cigar in different shapes. I tell people all the time, smoke a Spice Cream Robusto round, smoke a Spice Cream box pressed round. They're completely different smoking experiences. One's more grassy, one's a little bit more sweet and creamy. It's very interesting, but that's how you have fun in the cigar industry, right? If you feel like you're like just smoking the same stuff, you feel like you're just in the same rigmarole, you go sit outside, you smoke your cigar, you go like, that's fine. I'm a creature of habit. I love doing the same thing. But if you want to just have some fun, grab a couple of your favorite sticks and put them up right up against each other. All right, guys. Well, that's been the Spice Cream versus the El Premier Mundo. I forget who used to have this brand, but it's now under PDR, which is Abe Flores. And again, I just like doing this stuff, man. I think there's a lot of value out there in cigars that people are missing just because they have a band and a label on them, or they're afraid to try something that might not be premium because it looks like it's priced less. But I promise you, you get a Spice Cream, put it up against your favorite Connecticut, it might surprise you.
It will surprise you.
With that, guys, we got to get back to work. We actually just got a big delivery in, and we'll be out of here like last year. Peace.